the November Nutrition Coordinators meeting, and we'll just go ahead and jump right into it. So kind of go around to see how everybody's doing, anything new, and if not, that's fine. And then I'll show everybody the 211 Nebraska 211 opportunity, and more or less that's kind of going to be concerned about Title 3D health promotion, disease prevention, advertising that could be opportunity for people. And then I'll show people the Walk to Unlock website, which is we've had a good time with. So anyways, all right. Well, Carmen, I think I saw you first on there at Blue Rivers. You want to just give us a quick update?
Sure. It feels like we just met.
Yeah.
I think our
We did.
biggest thing that we have just accomplished, well, we have one more day to accomplish it. We worked in partnership with our Good Samaritan here society and partnering to get meals out. They put a epoxy floor in our kitchen at the Beatrice Senior Center, which is going to be amazing. However, when you take the largest place that we have with the most meals, it requires a lot of juggling. So I will say we've come off with very few hitches. It is, the saying is true. It's hard to teach elderly people a new trick because they all have it set in their mind. But we, luckily, the two locations are about 5 blocks from each other, so we got it fixed. Otherwise, we have Pickerel has contacted us, which is about 5 or 6 miles north of Beatrice, just a little bedroom community. They are wanting to start maybe a congregate site and would like to try it once a month to start out with and pattern it after our location that does things the same way that we would try and do that. So that's another project we're working on. Feels like the month of November is just flown by. I have also worked with our extension educator that's brand new in Southeast Nebraska in state or and centered out of Gage County. She is going to be working with us for some nutrition education. So we're working on a plan for that. And then she was also able to tell me that she also is trained in Tai Chi. So I did backflips on that one because we just can't find people that are trained in Tai Chi. And so we're hopefully going to utilize her in many different avenues. So other than that, that's about all I have.
Nice. Very good, Carmen. That's cool. Pickerel wants to do something. That's really neat. He wants to start up a congregate site.
We
That's
have
cool.
a couple delivered home delivered meals that we just take there like once a week, and then they get our frozen meals the other days.
Yeah.
And it's working. But the lady that contacted me said there's enough people that they thought they could probably try it for once a month and maybe move into twice a month. They wanted to see how it worked. The community is on board with it. So we're just in the talking phases right now.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Very cool. Any questions for Carmen at Blue Rivers? Thank you, Carmen, so much. Valerie at West Central. What's going on, Valerie?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yep, you're good.
Okay, sorry, my computer's freezing.
No worries.
So I feel like I don't have a lot going on, or not much has happened since the last meeting. We just had our kitchen manager meeting, which I thought went well. It was a good refresher for everyone, and I feel like the menus I got right after were better. So looks like that helped them. And then we had good attendance with that as well. Other than that, I'll just be visiting some senior centers next month, so hopefully I'll have more to report back on that next month.
Awesome. Very cool. Awesome. Very good. Any questions for we'll next go to Jill. Jill, Aging Partners. Hey, Jill.
Hello. Things really haven't been too much different since the last time we spoke. Our we are starting a pop-up in Shickley, which is in Fillmore County, 2 times a month. That will be catered in from the Geneva Senior Center. So it's a great way for them to kind of get into that community. And they're planning a Milligan pop-up center hopefully soon. So that's good. Pop-up centers in Saline County with Crete and Western and are going well, and Rising City and David City, those are all going well. So the pop-ups have been a really good positive change for us. Other than that, for Lancaster County, we're doing our plate waste studies this month. Holiday meals are served next week. Everything is pretty much just status quo, so not a whole
Awesome.
lot of change.
Very cool. Very cool. Any questions for Jill at Aging Partners? Thank you so much, Jill. I think Allison and Caitlin for NOAA. How's it going?
Not a lot of change here either. Although I did notice we are up 15% in meals from last month, which was about 1,500 meals between September and October. We had actually yesterday, the Fremont Center had 92 people for lunch. And it was just a normal Wednesday with their normal entertainment that they have been doing. So it wasn't like a big event. So it was kind of a full number to get. But just working on the next set of menus for our centers for January, February, and March, and getting ready for our holiday meals that we do through our department, and just getting ready to get through this next holiday season.
For home delivered, we're just plugging along, preparing for all of our frozen meals for our holidays. We're waiting for our emergency meals to come in. Unfortunately, they're from Florida, so the hurricanes affected them a little bit, so we're a little delayed, but hopefully they'll be here next week. And other than that, just plugging along.
Very good. Thank you, Allison and Caitlin. Thank you very much. Sounds good. Any questions for Allison or Caitlin? I think I see Sue on at South Central. How's it going, Sue?
Oh, it's going good. And anyway, it's a nicer day today than it was yesterday when I was out traveling to the centers, But I guess you can't complain. We did have needed rain. So trying to get out, visit the centers, and just, before we know it, it's going to be, well, Thanksgiving and Christmas. And, hopefully the weather holds out good. Getting ready to have our big kickoff with the American Heart Association and the Mendon Senior Center. They're going to be launching their hub, and it's going to be November, I think it's the 27th, if I'm thinking right, without looking at the calendar. And that'll be their big Thanksgiving dinner. So they'll have lots of people there, and I'm real excited for that. Holdridge opted out on the hub. I think there's just too many things going on there. They do have a blood pressure hub, but it's not from the Heart Association. It was given from the pharmacy, but it's older, so it's probably not validated, and who knows. But she opted out after some time here. So we are doing the blood pressure hub, going to be at the Golden Generation Center, which is at Oxford, and they are very, very excited. And I'm hoping to hold a Living Well with Hypertension class there. Let's see what else. You're going to laugh. I ordered a couple to-go meals from the Peterson Senior Center tomorrow for my brother and I. we trade off lunches every Friday, but they're having their hot beef, and I think that is one of their most popular meals. I mean, it's sounds like is always excellent. So
That's
I thought,
awesome.
you know what, I ordered today and I was lucky I barely got in. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and pick up a couple meals and see how we like it. My brother his wife was an excellent, well, she's a home ec teacher for many years, 40, 50 years, but she was a wonderful cook. And my brother actually ends up being pretty good too. So he really didn't like the senior center, but I told him we're going to try this and see what he thinks. I really do think it's going to be a good meal. Do have a question for everybody, and it's not like this is the same song and dance it has been for years, but when I do hear occasionally that when some individuals think they're being charged for the meal that for the senior center directors forget to say suggested, and I kind of got in on that little routine today, and she was just saying you had to have the exact change, and I'm just kind of chuckling. It wasn't the director. And I thought, yeah, well, don't worry, I'll have the exact change. But if I don't want to contribute anything, I don't have to. How tacky is that? But I just, my gosh. And she said, well, I know it's a suggested, but I thought they need to say that. Do people have problems out there? I mean, we seem like every now and then we do. And I even hate to bring it up, as far as the cost of the meal for, and I'm eligible, God forbid. My brother's definitely older than heck than me too. So but anyway, does anyone else who's directors or wasn't even a director, this happened to be a volunteer. So, and then when I did make a comment, told her I wasn't being rude or anything, but I just wanted her to know that if I didn't want to give anything, I didn't have to, which of course wouldn't be the point. The point is I just always like them to say suggested, and I guess I preach that, but it doesn't matter if you have $1,000,000 or you don't have 2 cents, it's just idea. So just wondered if anyone else had any of that problem out there, or is everybody better than I might be out here?
Sue,
Hello?
this is Carmen. I think it depends on your senior center manager. We've run into it. I always observe when I'm out there, and I have one that she's probably one of my oldest senior center managers. And sometimes I just cringe and I just keep reminding her, no, it's a suggested contribution. However, I do like the word voluntary. I switch it up. I don't know if that makes any difference or not, but sometimes I think they just lose track of it,
It's just
and
habit of the
it's a
wording, and
habit.
maybe she
Yes.
didn't mean that, the way she said it, like whatever I
Uh,
gave needed to be exactly wouldn't make change or couldn't make change. And I thought, yeah, I kind of know that. I just did, but she knew who I was too, and I thought it's not like I've not been around a couple of years. But anyway, I just thought, Eric, is there just anything that, not that I don't have it in my standards, my manual and stuff, but is there anything from that I can just maybe, send out just as a reminder, like from the state, it says as our federal regulations, you can't charge. It's a suggested contribution. I mean, is there anything that's just short and sweet that I could just send out where it doesn't sound like I'm harping all the time? Because I think everybody, well, of course I know that they know that, and she knew that too. It's just the idea that it's just how they say it. I don't know. Maybe we need to have some type of verbiage. And maybe it just happens every time I call somewhere or something. I don't know. But I always
Um,
like them to say suggested. I just kind of aggravates me because over the years I have heard from other people that we're getting charged, and I says no, 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 they know that, but anyway, I just wondered, maybe I shouldn't have been so touchy about it today, but I think maybe when she said you need the exact change, I think she meant that they couldn't make change for whatever I planned to give. So I probably didn't interpret that correctly. So I'll have to really be nice when I go in there tomorrow. But
yeah.
anyway, I just was curious.
Okay. So a couple of things. I think um, I- one of the biggest things what we look for. Well, actually, first of all, so with our regulations, our nutrition regulations that are available online, and everybody has them. they'll say verbiage in there about suggested contributions. Also in the Older Americans Act, it's in there as well. And
And I think I did
so
copy that on one of our
yeah,
standards, quote that. I was just
y-
trying to think
yeah,
out.
and
It's just kind of a thing. I don't know.
then also the other thing is, when we monitor every place we monitor, that I monitor, I make sure that there is a suggested contribution sign that fully delineates that language, and making sure then also with the contribution statements that go out, with a home delivered meal statement. So everything that I monitor that I have to check off, I make sure, that that's on there. I make sure that that's an integral part of the center's policy. And so I think one of the things is just, if it's something that you come across and you see, make sure that the agency monitors it just the same way that the state on aging would, and that they are clear and they understand the language from the regulations, the OAA, and then your guys' own policies too. And sometimes I think with some smaller centers, I think where the habit, like you kind of said, people get in the habit of, sometimes you have a center where the culture is very prideful, and they come in and they just, they're like, I have a 20 and want to break, but I want to give the contribution. They're very like, they're just kind of lax about it, and they want to give the contribution. They feel like this is their part that they're doing, and they're very prideful of that. I think what maybe sometimes the habit is that people get, the managers maybe get in the habit of saying, oh, well, yeah, people come in, they give a contribution, whatever. But maybe just some re-education and letting them know that, look, this is just is a suggested contribution. People could pay as much or as less as they want, and that we have the signs present there that they can, refer to for the full cost of the meal and what the contribution is. So maybe just some re-education would be good for them. I mean, that's kind of what I would just
Oh, and
probably
they do, Eric. Every
recommend.
center
Yeah,
has that suggested and under 60
yeah,
charge, and they do all that. She just probably
yeah,
just hit me wrong today. I shouldn't say it like that, but it seems like it's just kind of ironic. It might just be never happen, and then it always happens to maybe to me or one person I'll call. But
yeah,
sometimes I don't know, just was kind of one of the few things that was going on. But I just wondered if it's if anybody else hears from that. But I think, and she did know. I think maybe she was just, I don't know what she was thinking, but anyway. Well, other
yeah.
than that, I'm trying to think if that's about anything else. I am excited to have that lunch tomorrow, and I know it will be good because I did have one there before, and I have had the to go when I was leaving the blood pressure hub in Alma, and I stopped by in Holdridge to get a meal to go because I had to go to Loop City right away. So I didn't have time to be jotting around for lunch, but I did grab, and I've been just very pleased with all of this and thankful that we do have the to go. Other than that, I'm just trying to think. I don't think there's anything else going on. Does anyone else? We really don't do emergency meals here, or have it for a while. Every time we did, they all took it home and ate it right away. So I just wondered if that's what everybody does or just a few of you.
Blue Rivers did them during the COVID aspect of things. There is no way we could financially afford to do it at the current time.
Yeah, and we don't. I remember every time we did that, they were, and we always remind them to have your shelf, to have these food items in in your cabinet in case, you're unable to get out or get a meal or, whatever that would be that you can just open up and enjoy without having to prepare. So, but we
Hmm.
don't do any of the emergency, at least we haven't since COVID.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I don't really have anything else. Just wishing everybody
Okay.
a happy Thanksgiving because it'll be here.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be here soon. Any questions for Sue? South Central? All right, thank you very much, Sue. Yes, Thanksgiving will be here quite soon. It's November goes quick. It just is one of those months that goes really quick. So, very good. Thank you so much. Anybody here
Well, thank
from
you.
Northeast? Is Kayla on, or Connie, or Lori? I don't think I see anybody from Northeast. All right, and then Aeon.
Hi. To piggyback on what Sue was saying, we don't, I mean, we have the same struggles and we don't do emergency meals. They're not really in our budget. I mean, when necessary, we do what we can, like, to prepare for like weather situations and stuff like that. But you're not the only one in your boat. So just a note of that. Some things going on here are we are going to start delivering meals to Broadwater soon from our Bridgeport site. We have somebody that is going to volunteer to deliver those, so that's kind of nice. We'll be able to reach that rural community. We recently had some computers donated from Bytes. There are like local IT people, so 5 of our centers are going to be getting computers, which is really exciting for us because only a couple of our sites out this way have those. And we've really just been working on, it seems like recently there's like 3 sites where their refrigerators have gone out or their microwaves or some kind of appliances. So we've been working on getting all of those updated for them, and just, site visits while the weather's nice, and continuing business as usual. Last month was a really good month for meal numbers for us, congregate, home delivered, and to go. So that was kind of interesting to see that, in October. There just seems like there was really no rhyme or reason, but that was exciting. We had a big influx, so I'm excited to see if that is going to be consistent. But really, business is just going on as normal and just getting out and seeing the sites and connecting with folks. And we're really excited about the Broadwater home deliveries. Just another way to help kind of expand and reach folks that need them and haven't been able to have access to them thus far.
Very good. Yeah, that's good, Samantha. That's really good. Yeah, Bridgeport can help out with that. That'd be really good. That would be really good. That's good to see. I've been in that area a few times. That's good. That's good to see that's happening. Very good. Any questions for Samantha, Aeon? Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, well, very good. Well, thank you so much. Any questions for anybody else? I think that's some good discussion on some things, and I'm going to show a couple things real quick with 211, and then the dashboard for Walk to Unlock, and this just to give you some information on some programs and things to think about. Nothing you have to act on today, but just some things I wanted to share with you. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Hold on. Okay, can everybody see this okay? Okay. Okay, so I had a thought that I was talking with public health, and then here's a sheet that's a spreadsheet that I had you guys fill out a while ago, and this is basically, and some of these may not be going on right now, but what they are is this is the program, Title 3D program, and some senior centers and some the AAAs, and what some of the things that you had going on at that snapshot in time. Now these things change because programs start and end. And so we collected this data, and then we talked to public health. And public health thought, what's a good way we could list these things online in a way that we could easily manage? And so We thought about putting it online where we would put it on our website, but having to constantly update that was kind of a pain. And so we thought, what's a simpler way to do that? Well, 211 is kind of a neat, something we're already involved in. And you can look up all sorts of different types of things. And ADRC has a partnership, obviously, with 211. But there's all these different types of services with 211 that individuals could look up. So this is another way to advertise for your programming. There's things like congregate meals, there's things like food pantries, all these different types of things. And so there's just a lot of stuff. There's hotlines, housing, health, food, etc., transportation, disability. People can call this line, or they can look online too and see what they want to post. Okay. What you can do, and let's see here. Come on. What you can do is utilize 211 to post and update an agency program or add a new agency. But if you already have stuff online that you're posting, I'm not saying I'm just speaking in general, not for anyone in particular. But if you wanted to post something for Title 3D programming or something else requiring, just you want to get out there, 211 is free, which is nice. And you can easily do that here. The Nebraska Partnership Program, you can then log on. Like I said, Aging Disability Resource Center is our partnership here. And then here's the other partners. Some information on senior support for elder care, all these types of things. But the pathway for it basically is how you would, let's see here, you would post, okay. Okay, and you would fill out your information here. And of course, I'm not going to go through all that right now. But what that would look like then is like, let's say, Tai Chi. You could then what you would do is post online. Like here's public health. Here's like the Elkhorn Logan Valley Public Health Department here. Okay. And there's some information here on categories that they have. They do nutrition education, they do all sorts of different types of things. And then what that does is once you just enter that information in there, like you would click on this, and it has the physical address here, eligibility, there's no fee involved. Here's the times and dates available. Okay, so it's Tuesdays here. And so basically if someone was looking for Tai Chi, they wanted to know where it was located, they could click on one of these things here and be directed. So it's one of those things where it would really help increase individuals' awareness of where things are located. And we just figured that that was kind of an easier thing to do as opposed to maintain a list online. So, if you think about it, upcoming classes, if you have different classes that are up and coming and you wanted to post those on 211 as well, that's a way to make sure that, these things are continuously offered. Obviously, you can edit that list online then and take that off. But the nice thing is that it just makes it available. Or you could even keep it on 211 and just then edit the time that it's offered. Just you could keep it on there and then just basically erase the time that's offered if it's not offered that particular season. And then when the new one comes out, adjust the times. So this is something we talked about with the health department and something that I just wanted to show you in order to help make things a little bit more available. Is anybody familiar with 211? Used it? Questions?
Familiar with it, but I haven't done anything with it. I'm sure Alyssa has with our ADRC,
Mm-hmm.
but I will look into that. I just haven't.
Yeah, it's just something to look at today. You know, we can talk about it later on as we kind of move through some things. But one of the things I thought was really interesting is if for 2025, I mean, the year's coming to an end, but for next year, if you wanted to post up and coming Title 3D programming, would be a great way to showcase that in a senior center or a site if you wanted to post that on there. And then what you could do is also provide the link and or information. Actually, the link is really easy to use, and you can send that out. I think you can even do like a QR code scan, and it would take you to it as well. There's just a lot of things you can do with 211 in advertising, and so it's kind of nice to show that. But I just wanted to show you all that today, just to start a fire, I guess. I don't know. All right, the next thing I wanted to show you was the Walk to Unlock. And I'm gonna share my screen again. Okay. Okay. This is kind of exciting. Now this is a Walk to Unlock Nebraska. And originally this was, I think I've shown this before, but originally this was for schools to use and to develop teams, and it was to promote walking and healthy behaviors for school-age children. Now, one of the things that we did here at the State Youth on Aging was actually did participate in this, and we're still participating in this. So like here's some different, there we go. Let's see here, let me go ahead and see here. To the west. Here's the Eastern Sprint we did. Here's an example of it. So like I have a pedometer on my Apple Watch, and we were able to, I'm able to track how many steps I took per day and do that. And then I logged it in there. And then once you log in, you get to unlock these cool little things. And sometimes they have videos, or sometimes they have information about the location that you've walked over. So this one's about like Robbers Cave here in Lincoln, which is kind of neat. They've got news clippings and fun things like that, and it's just kind of cool. So there is like some kids stuff here, which was kind of meant for kids and whatnot, but there's also like a whole bunch of videos they've done. They've collected a lot of information on this, which has been really neat over the years. And that's just one location out of many. I think this one ends in, yeah, Homestead National Historic Park. So this is one of the shortest routes. So it was easy to complete. But they also have other routes that are a lot longer. And let's see here. Yeah, so like here you can do the northern loop, central stretch, southern jog, etc. But the whole reason for sharing this with you today is it helps promote fitness, helps promote walking. It's low impact, it's simple. Your staff can do it. Senior centers can do it. Senior center staff can do it. Anybody can do this. It's completely free. So 211's free. This is free as well, which is awesome. So it's all about free stuff today, I suppose. And when you go on there, you can do teams. You can sign up, and then each person can do their own team. It just depends on what you want to do. And yeah, it's just kind of fun. You can compete against other teams. And then as you go along, it unlocks these different fun facts and locations across Nebraska. So, and then also I think I was in contact with one of the organizers of this, and she's been really great. Like I said, normally they would use like schools and whatnot. This is for a healthy school program. But one of the neat things is that if you know, maybe if they start getting some involvement and people start working on this with older adults, because walking is just low impact and it's incredibly easy to do. You know, maybe someday they can kind of modify this for older adults too. And it's not that kiddish. It's basically just some of the things that you unlock. There's some videos for kids and whatnot, but there's also a lot of things for adults too, and fun facts. So I mean, the information came from just local experts, things like that. You can filter the views, etc. Here's the FAQ basically for everything. But it's super simple to sign up. You can just come up with a username and password and whatnot. So anyways, stop sharing that.
Eric,
Yeah.
can steps be, do you have to have like an Apple Watch to log it, or can you enter it different ways?
That's a good question, Jill. Yeah, there are different ways that you can enter it, and you can actually, yeah, I just happen to have an Apple Watch.
Yeah.
There's other ways that you can enter it too. There are some ways if you don't have an Apple Watch that they can consider things. So I think they take into account time. So if you can account for time and distance, mostly I think time can help. There's also other activities besides walking that can count too for that. That's fun. So it's actually fun for just staff too, if you want to start out with staff doing it and see how far you can walk, especially in the winter months. You know, if you guys have a place to walk that's safe, like a gym or something around the building or campus or whatever. You know, if you want to do something like that and try to see how many steps you get in. I always counted the ones too I did at night or whatever. Just anywhere, all over the office, you can count the ones you did for the entire day. It doesn't matter where you go, and then log those because those are, you know, part of the steps. So when you do those, then you can log those, and yeah, it's kind of fun how you make your progress, and it kind of becomes a challenge. So for those looking to just maintain steps, and then this is something that, you know, maybe you know, senior centers could maybe be interested in. It's like I said, it's free, it's easy. You get to just, you know, participate for free, but it helps get people moving, and I think that's the biggest part of it. So anyways, a couple things there. So I just wanted to show everybody those two items, 211 and the Walk to Unlock Nebraska. A couple resources for you. Let's see here, what else? I think that's it for right now. Is anybody having questions? All right, thank you. Go ahead and stop the video there. Stop recording, we'll post that. Now, does anybody have any questions?
No.
Eric,